Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account. Thank you for joining me for our Sunday afternoon stream. Now we're in 48-24. We have been making a lot of progression and I really advise you to do the same. Going through the towers. The main reason we have been focusing very heavily on these King's Towers, guys, is the cards that we're getting out of here. We're trying to get a lot of those Stargazer Scrolls because we know Demia is coming up pretty soon on Tuesday. So we want to make sure that we have not only the diamonds out of here, but also the scrolls out of here as well to go ahead and summon up that hero. So let's see who we got here, guys. Robbie for fun. We have Isaac. Shadow is here. Major is here. That is right, guys. We have surpassed the 33,000 sub mark. That is right. It is incredible to see the progression we've made on the channel, but 33,000 subs has been achieved, guys. Went right past that mark. Merker is here. Brian as well. Jordan and Javid. What is going on, Javid? I know Javid, incredibly busy with life. Little Slayer is here as well. We're going to hop on here. We're going to do some summons. I want to make some progression. And as you've seen, guys, the Misty Valley, I believe, is up at this point. Haven't had a chance to actually hop on. So I'm going to run through right here with the Misty Valley really quick. This is probably, and I know I say this about a couple places, guys, but this is probably one of the biggest places to get loot on a very consistent basis outside of the event, because the Misty Valley is literally just on repeat going through here. We'll pick up a couple stones out of here and then we'll go ahead and we'll do some summons. And again, Tuesday, we know the new hero is going to be up on Tuesday. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly the impact. Overall, guys, testing her out quite a bit. It seems like she is going to have a really big impact in AFK Arena is my thought. Zothis is here. Cito, Withered Milk. Mario is here. Apollon here. What is going on? Anonymous is here. Doing well today, guys. I did a lot of cleaning today. I actually went through, cleaned my entire daughter's room, got it all ready. That way we can make sure it's all set, still have all my shopping to do and everything else on Sunday. But I hope, yes, the exchange. Let's take a minute, guys. The exchange has finally happened. I know players have been waiting for this. A majority of players, especially the players specifically that came over for the ReZero event. It has been 60 days, guys. That is right. It has been 2 solid months since we've actually had the ability. And look at that. We kick it off with a subscriber. That adds on to our 33,000 subscriber. Big shout out to Alex for subbing to the channel. But like I was saying, guys, a lot of players have waited the 60 days to go ahead and get those heroes, guys. And they are finally here. And I tell you what, when it comes to the dimensional heroes, as much as, again, I do like Geralt and Yennefer, both Rem and Amelia are super important and used in a lot of different formations. Yennefer, of course, has found her spot within AFK Arena, but Geralt, again, has really not found a place as of right now. So we got Wilders, we got Rangers in the front line. Unfortunately, hasn't found really the place as of now. It's kind of sad to say, but yeah, hasn't really found the place. Finally got Rem. Now I'm able to work towards the end of the exchange. So Amelia, very nice. AFK Arena, free to play life. Yes, Rem is my first choice. Now we get this this question every single time that we talk about the dimensionals. We talk about Rem and Amelia. If you guys caught the guide from last night, Rakude puts out an absolute incredible guide over on Reddit. It is crazy to see the time and effort, because I have tried to build guides in the past, and it is incredibly time consuming, guys. I can do it, but we're talking hours, if not days of work to put into those guides. It's crazy. It is crazy how much content goes into those guides. It's amazing to see the final product that you see. Rem and Amelia got me pushing the campaign. Yes, Sita. For a lot of players, guys, Rem and Amelia are huge in the campaign. If you have the combination of those two, because Amelia, of course, provides the instant crowd control, and then Rem, of course, gets the boost off of that crowd control, which again is kind of crazy. So this set, I believe, no Ranger, no Mage, and I think it said Celestials and Hypogean. So you know what? Let's go with some tanks in here. And then we also do have some warriors. We'll go ahead and pop those in. Should be good. Started a new account on my first 2 pulls. I got Awaken Brutus and Baden. Wow, Third Eye. That is amazing. I been kind of stuck time-wise lately to have the ability to actually go through and grind out some of the content on the accounts. And again, I don't want to lose the focus of making progression within the YouTube account. That has been really a big focus piece for me. I want to make sure that we're not losing, I'm not losing focus or not missing stuff within this account and my free-to-play account. Big reason why we've really focused on these two accounts. What's going on, Peter? And Alfredus is here as well. I think we got all heroes in the formation, must be the same class. I think we needed one more ranger in here. There we go. That should be all rangers in there. I'm building Rem, just hit chapter 32 in 1 month. With her and Damon, I'll get engraving to 61st, then Lucretia. Absolutely, Mario. Rem is a big one. Big thing, Rem doesn't need the 60 engraving. The 60 engraving on Rem is good. The 30 engraving will work in there, but if you're going Rem and Damon, Damon doesn't need the engraving either. I wouldn't spend the time or resources to really build up Damon. So yeah, Rem would definitely be there. Am I playing Zelda? No, Alfredas. Actually, I am not. My nephew has been playing Zelda like absolute crazy. I do have the Switch in the living room, which we're still playing Minecraft Dungeons. Didn't get the Legacy. I believe Legacy is the new one, but we play it with our kids. I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. We do play quite a bit of the old school Minecraft game that they absolutely love. Oh, what's going on, JJP? Got them both. Yes, absolutely, Apollinaire. For a lot of you that just got access to the heroes yesterday, just like what Apollinaire said, Rem is broken. Absolutely. I totally agree with it, guys. That is the reason why a lot of players have been pushing a lot of content. Rem is broken. The ability to use Rem, the hero itself, is definitely broken within a lot of different game modes. It's a good idea to fuse Rem with Rosaline, or do they have good synergy? Earlier game, Starvos, you could put them together. Rosaline and Rem would go together pretty well. Rem is actually a hero I would probably spend a dimensional key on, just for the simple fact it's going to be really easy with those two. I would spend a couple diamonds. I would get the dimensional key, and if you fuse two really big heroes that you have, absolutely. That way you don't have to worry about that. Fusing them so you can still use them. So we need Isabella and we need Entendre in here. So let's drop in Isabella and we need Entendre. There we go. Just woke up to watch a live stream. Well, thank you for joining us. It is awesome. Is the guild store the only place for dimensional gears? Yes, unfortunately it is. That is the one and only place to get the dimensional gear is the guild store. It does take a while to get the gear out of there. There is a lot of gear, but it doesn't come up. I actually waited almost the full 60 days to get the second piece of gear for Rem, the chest piece. I was waiting and waiting before it finally came up. Even the guild exchange, when we had the shop refreshes, it took me that long to actually get that part done, to get it unlocked. So Celestials, Hypogean Dimensionals, which is going to be an easy build. We'll leave Thane in there like I normally do. Just pop the first two in there, and there we go. I got 10 Awakened Heroes from normal summons, maybe more, 6 Awakened Aziz, and 1 of each faction. Wow, Javid. Javid, free to play, that is game-changing. That is honestly game-changing. I can't believe Aziz and 1 of each faction. That is awesome. Or 6 Aziz. Wow, that is awesome. Yes, Dark Lucifer, I've heard that. Exactly that the new Zelda game fixed pretty much everything that has ever been broken with the old Zelda games, is what, again, a lot of players have been saying. So we got, boom, a lot more stones in there, a lot more Poke Coins. Now for the Poke Coins, I am specifically going to save the Poke Coins for the simple fact that we do have, within the Poke Coins, we do have the new hero coming out Tuesday. So I'm going to save. Now, I didn't know what this was. I just checked this out. Dragon Crystal experience. Your Dragon Crystal order has been confirmed. Please claim your VIP experience. I guess that's because we bought the Dragon Crystals to try them out. So they sent us the VIP experience, I guess, separately once the cooldown had ended for the Dragon Crystals. So we got a little bit of VIP experience. We are still on 15, guys. We still have a long ways to 16. Well, not that much long, but we still do have a ways to VIP 16. With the regular purchases in here. It is 110 that we spend. Sort of the dimensional heroes, we did spend a little more on the dimensional heroes, but absolutely. So E60 on Lucretia is better than Rem. I would, Mario, just because Lucretia is such a priority, and she is one of the absolute heroes that is used within the Hypo Tower. She literally carries the tower by herself. When you get to multiple teams, she is the second multiple team in there. The higher you build out Lucretia, the better she is going to perform. As much as I like Rem, guys, Lucretia will still absolutely carry an AFK Arena, and she has since she has been released. She is really a big hero. Did I test the new Celestial? Yes, we did a video. We did the test day for the dimensional or for the new Celestial. She works incredibly well. She is working very well. Can't progress Lightbearer, Greyborn, Celestial, Mauler, 100%, which means the team manually with 100 tries per floor. I've gotten to that point, Shadow Mastery, so the only way to get over that hump is the Resonating Crystal. When you start getting extra levels on the Resonating Crystal, especially if you are free to play, it is 1, building up the Resonating level, and 2, murking heroes. So I actually went through the towers before I had the Awakened heroes. I borrowed the Awakened version of Taylene to actually make progression. I did the same with each hero in here, just murking and moving literally 2 floors every single week based on what we have. Very slow to get in there. The dimensional keys come from the Field of Stars. So within the Field of Stars, I don't remember which one it is for the dimensional keys. It's been so long since we've actually looked at this. But right there, dimensional key quality. So it is this one right there, acquiring keys. This you get dimensional keys out of, which don't affect the fused heroes, which is the way, again, with some of the newer heroes, absolutely fusing them with the... Can you say the name Geralt for me and then the word See, it's hard. Harbinger. Geralt, Harbinger. There we go. Yeah, dimensional keys come out there. G-E-G, Geralt. Geralt. R-A-L-T. Geralt. There we go. I know it's wrong. I've seen the show. I know. Vulcan says this two-dimensional heroes is in Ainz and Albedo's situation. Yeah, absolutely. So when you look at the old school Peter, when you look at Ainz and Albedo, when Ainz and Albedo came out, they absolutely broke AFK Arena, period. When these two heroes weren't introduced to AFK Arena, guys, they broke AFK Arena. They really changed up all of the comps. Even when you look at all of the different game modes, pretty much Ainz Albedo were ran everywhere. They were the two heroes that were literally ran everywhere together. And it changed the game in its entirety for dimensionals, because now you had a tank dimensional hero that is a massive buffer, and then Ainz's damage was just tenfold over anyone that we had seen at that point. Ainz was just super broken. It was kind of crazy. Yes, they definitely make a big, because we have double dimensionals that released. Both dimensionals are incredibly high utility and incredibly strong within there. Imagine that they added Ram together with Rem. Yeah, a lot of people wanted to see that. Wanted to see both of them. I have Brutus, Baden, and the Awakened hero. Should I go for Awakened Solus to stack up time gazers in case a better hero? So the general rule, guys, when it comes to building out the Awakened heroes, is wait till you probably have, I would say, 400 to 500 cards. If you are free to play, if you're looking to build them out, it took $395 to build out the Awakened version of Amelia. So unless you're really committed to the hero and building out that specific hero, you can go ahead and start the summons. But I would wait till you have a certain amount of cards to actually build up a couple heroes. Again, just for the simple fact, we don't want to get half-built heroes, which can be incredibly hard to go through there. Just saw your new recent video on the Celestial. You mentioned Yennefer being a good combo. If I don't have Yennefer, the big thing, JJP, with Yennefer is the ability to keep everyone out of there. So fundamentally, with her magic barrier, which I think is maybe here, this magic barrier is going to keep enemies out of your side, meaning that Demia, they're not going to be able to get to Demia. very easy because of the magical barrier that she has. And also when you start building her up with furniture and everything else, it's going to be a really interesting combination because the way that she is built and she is stationary on the allied side, it's going to be kind of it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they are going to work together. Oh, thanks for listening. All the tier list video. Oh, you're welcome, Winnie. The tier list videos take a lot more time, but I definitely like them. It is very important. I'm free to play, but when you get a hero that you saved resources for months after getting tired and exhausted from the game because you log in every single day, how do you stay motivated? So honestly, a couple things. How do I stay motivated, Apollonier? Number one is you guys. You are the absolute 100% reason probably why I still play AFK Arena. So when we started doing YouTube, when we started doing the live streams, having the ability to actually interact with all of you guys is probably one of the absolute biggest reasons probably why I still play AFK Arena and I still make as much content as I do. Is number one, I love making the content, but number two, guys, there are so many of you that I talk to on a regular basis, which is kind of crazy, whether it is through the comments of the video, whether it is in the live stream, guys. It is awesome to be able to make progression kind of hand in hand with you guys, being able to answer a lot of the questions, having a lot of the conversations with you guys. It is awesome. It is honestly probably one of the things that I look towards every single week. And my wife knows it. My kids do as well. They're out there playing. My wife is upstairs actually going through some clothes. So yes, absolutely, guys. It is being able to talk to you guys about a game that I love to play. And this is probably one of the reasons why, even looking back at titles I've played before, I still play a lot of games with other people that I've played games with for now 20 years. And that's where, again, I feel like with this game specifically, if they get a hold of the guild function with all of us working together collaborative, it's going to make a big game-changing kind of part to AFK Arena, because you're going to bring the function and the kind of almost the Abyssal Expedition feeling of having a team that is working together towards a common goal. It is what I love to see. That's why I've said I believe at this point, probably 3+ years, that we need to do something as far as the guild aspect. Now, when I look at AFK Journey, the collaboration, they actually have a whole built out guild dynamic with different checkpoints, bosses, buffs, things where the guild has to work in unison towards a common goal, which I think, again, is something we're definitely missing in this game that they could bring easily to it. So there you go in, you get 3 attacks per day. You're breaking out checkpoints, and then you get to bosses, mini bosses, and a major boss within those checkpoints. It's really cool. It is really cool to be able to see that I wish, and I really hope, fingers crossed, they do bring it to the guild aspect of this game. I would love to see it. How many levels do I gain per week? Usually it's about 2. I would say on average, guys, it's probably about 2 levels a week that we gain. We power leveled actually up to 600, then we leveled to 650, then we power leveled to 700. I actually go through a couple spurts where we spend, and the big way to really power level, guys, is in here within the Noble Society. So if right here we're going for red cores and red chests, in this one we are going for our mats and baits. Next time I'm going to actually switch this to baits. But if you're looking to power level, when it comes to the essence that you get out of here, the hero essence, this is probably the absolute biggest power level point of AFK Arena. If you're in here and you are just literally farming essence to gain levels, makes a big difference. Regal Reward we don't buy because of where we're at. Again, I don't need a lot of these stones. We just continue the recycle process, which we have enough in there to actually go through and recycle everything. Where would I find the REM comps you talked about in the most recent video? I've been trying to find comps for REM that would work for the campaign. So a lot of those that we've seen with REM, guys, have been built around the dimensional heroes. So with the dimensionals, they've actually had a couple different ones that have been built just around the dimensional heroes. And I believe the Treasure Scramble ended as well. But running, a lot of players were running, let me just hop in formation. So the most common one that I seen was actually running Rem and Amelia together, and then it was running Albedo, Joan, and Merlin. And this was a very, very strong combination. Now, again, depending where you have the heroes built makes a big difference. So if you don't have the plus 30 signature item on Amelia, she doesn't quite have the effect. If you don't have Albedo up to that plus 30 signature item, doesn't have quite the effect. You'll also see that a lot of the damage that Rem puts out really depends on the build. They've really went together very well in here. Now, another formation that a lot of players are running is with Ulna. So they are actually running Ulna Rem together. This combination, of course, Ulna with the 9 of 9 furniture is going to give Rem the immunity. Then we have a lot of mitigation back here. You can even swap out Merlin. You can put Joan in here again as a buffer, but a couple different heroes in here that are going to dynamically work because you're getting buffs right here from Joan. You're getting buffs right here from Albedo. And then, of course, you have crowd control with energy regeneration with Amelia. And then Rem has the survivability because of Ulna. Very strong. Very, very strong overall with this build. Again, there's a couple ones. When you look at the Cursed Realm, Twisted Realm, even the Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, you can really look at the leaderboards and see the formations that they're being used in. There are a couple different dynamic ones depending on who you're fighting. But this, again, most recently we have been seeing, even when it comes to campaign formations, we have been seeing Rem in some of the newer campaign formations. We've actually been seeing Rem and Amelia in a couple of these formations, which again is cool to see that now that we have the heroes and now that we have the heroes that are released, they're actually seeing some utility. So right there, guys. So again, we have Albedo, we have Merlin, we have Rem, so all of them are together. We have Mulan instead of Amelia, and then Arthur. So again, running 5-dimensional heroes in here works incredibly well with formations, which I absolutely like. What's going on, Yoshi? Yeah, Ainz again. Ainz is 2 years old. Ainz is probably over 2 years old. It's really the power creep. When you look, even let's say the same hero. So even here, guys, Rem comes up with a higher power level than we see with Ainz. Even though Ainz is built out a lot higher than Rem, even has the 9 of 9 furniture, the plus 35 signature item. Rem's power, the combat rating is much higher or slightly higher than what we see. Again, just based on the newer build heroes do more damage. That is really one of the big things they do. They do more damage. Why should I look at the leaderboards when I have those heroes to begin with? It's anything but helpful. Not sure what you mean, Shadow. Oh, that you don't have? Well, a lot of them, you just sub in who you have. And I do the same on my free-to-play account, guys. I run a free-to-play account every day, going through here and looking at the leaderboard, seeing exactly what you can who do you have to merc? So we have talked about this, and we have actually played this game kind of forever when it comes to these leaderboard guys, is look at this point, you probably have 2 or 3 Awakened heroes built. So if you have Baden, if you have Belinda, there you go. Who can you merc? Who do you need to kind of fill in one of the damage slots? And even right there's Rem, guys, 11.74 billion. Who do you need to merc to fill in some of the slots? And what pets do you need? Who do you need? Honestly, and that is exactly the same game that I play every week on my free-to-play account. It is, who do I need to build out? Now I have Rem and Amelia as a free-to-play player. Great. Those are 2 heroes that I no longer have to borrow. So I can look at borrow another Awakened hero and just kind of swap them out. That is one of the big things. Seeing exactly who you have and who you need to build. Now we know they're also doing the update on Tuesday to the store. Ulna is going to be joining the store, which I'm super stoked about, as well as Mortis. 2 heroes that are a big priority within AFK Arena. I am super stoked that they're adding both of those because, again, as a player that has the free-to-play accounts, makes it a lot easier to go in there. Also, when you look at time emblems, guys, they've given us a lot more options to actually get those, even pushing the Temple Rift in here. We have made a lot of purchases in here. So we've been buying out the cards. You can see almost all the cards back here we've already bought. And then we also do have, I believe, a whole nother section that's going to unlock, which will give me access to buy the rest of those Stargazer scrolls. So we'll have all the time emblems and all the Stargazer scrolls out of here that are purchased, giving us the ability to just continue to build new heroes. Yeah, Mimo, Rem is on another level. Absolutely. How is Athalia? I think there was a question about Athalia in there. Haven't seen a guide yet, but is there a beast priority? So if you check out Ciro's, Ciro over on YouTube, Ciro has his own channel, but Ciro actually did a really good beast priority guide, and I believe he did update it when the seal came out. Definitely in there. Rem or Amelia to 61st Rem. Rem, if you're doing Rem and Amelia, the big thing that I noted, even on the dimensional guide, guys, that we kind of talked about, the 60 on her is good, but it is kind of situational. And to my opinion, here it is situational, really leaning towards heavy PvP. That is one of the big things, guys. The 60 on Amelia does work well, but it is a lot of PvP focus because it is focused around if Amelia dies, which again, personally, this is my kind of personal opinion. I don't like building out things that are, one, expensive to build, but two, situational, where if she doesn't die during the battle, this essentially isn't going to do anything because she doesn't die. If you just win the battle, she doesn't die, effectively that had little to no utility because again, her as a hero, she didn't die. So it does make a big difference. At chapter 32, should I do fast rewards? So Mario, at chapter 32, you should do it, I believe it is twice. If I remember correctly, when you get to 32 is the point of doing it twice. So do your fast rewards, do the 50, do the 80, and that's where you'll stop. Once you hit, I believe it's 36. And again, I'm just trying to remember, 36 or 38, you'll want to do it actually 4 times. So you'll want to spend the 100 diamonds there to go a little bit more. Yeah, I wish they let us use the mercs 2 times a week. That is actually a bonus, Javid, that you get with the purchase. So if you are free to play, of course, you don't have an option, but the subscriber card gives you 1 extra time to merc every week, which is the reason why a lot of times I say I use them twice a week when I was farming up the towers. This is why, guys, the $2.99 subscription in here does help, and it does help with progression a little bit for sure. Tried to merc heroes, but I'm missing so many heroes that a fully built Matria or whatever improves my score by barely 5%. I mean, I'm scoring probably in the 20 to 40 range as free to play, but also I'm in a much easier bracket. So I'm not very, very high in the bracket. Yeah, I wish they would do that. Absolutely. Love Linus, I wish they would give us a little bit the ability to utilize the mercenary heroes a little bit more. Again, because we have so much content in AFK Arena, the utility in there is huge. So let's open up these chests, guys. Let's do some summons. How do I get the dimensional keys? They come from the Field of Stars. The Field of Stars is the dimensional keys, guys. That's where they do come from. I was waiting. So this, we're still building red chests because we do need them for the new hero that is coming. Same with this one. We are going red chest. This one, the Master's Choice chest. I believe this was from the Treasure Scramble. I'm going to go all in for red cores. Red cores, that's 120 red cores right there. And again, I believe this one is from the Treasure Scramble as well. More cores, a little bit more of our engraving mats. So this one, again, I'm thinking I'm going to go cores. I'm going to go cores on this one. Reward chest. And then the final one, I'm going to go red chest just because, again, we want to build them out. Boom. There's all of our chests. So that, I believe, does give us enough to probably add another level in there. We do have some stones. We have some rare stones, definitely. So you look at that, free to play, 4 to 7% every time. Amazing, Javid. And that is free to play, guys. That is right. It is free to play. Do you think they should level up the cap of the Guild Labyrinth of the arena tokens? Absolutely, Apollinaire. The thing is, I don't think there's really a big reason to have a cap on them. I know with a refresh, you can buy more stuff. With the Labyrinth tokens and the arena tokens, you're still incredibly limited to what you can buy in there, which absolutely, I don't think they should have a cap in there because, again, it's very... You can't buy a ton in there. The stuff in the Guild Labyrinth and the arena tokens is very expensive. You really can't buy that much stuff in there. If you get, 30, 40,000, 400,000 tokens in there, Apollinaire, not going to make a huge difference because, again, you're pretty limited to what you can buy in there, and they don't really change it up very much. So 4 elite stones here, guys. Let's see. So we got a copy of Neve, not too bad, but we definitely wanted to build up these heroes so we can continue to recycle in here, guys. Resonating Crystal, we're adding a level onto. Boom, there we go. 744 already. And again, essence is what we need forever. We have really been stuck in the essence, really the essence forever. I don't think I have enough with the reset to do any summons here, which we do not. We have one more day. Furniture is my bane. I agree with you completely. Furniture is very, very tough. Should I build a star? Love you. Yes, absolutely, guys. Peanut is a hero you absolutely want to build, guys. A star not only has damage mitigation, she puts out a significant amount of damage herself. A star is still used in a lot of different formations. I would absolutely recommend building out. Subscription is entirely useless as well. I can climb just by waiting 2 weeks. I like the bonuses in there. That's my big thing, is I do like the bonuses that the subscription works, just because of the percentage they give you. So with the subscription card, right here, the guild tokens, labyrinth tokens, those are huge. Those are absolutely huge for me, guys, because I use so many guild coins. I use so many labyrinth tokens. Even looking at the labyrinth store, I usually have the ability with everything that we have to buy out pretty much everything in here. We're not even halfway through. I'll be able to buy out the rest of the Twisted Essence. I'll be able to buy out a couple more Emblems of Space. We can get a ton out of here. We can buy a ton of stuff out of here. And I'm super stoked, guys, because with the update on Tuesday, that is right, the Labyrinth store is getting all the engraving mats. So absolutely. Power Creep account. I've been kind of maintaining it, but I haven't done the progression in there, Hurricane. Again, I went in there. We've been doing the events that are going on right now, but I haven't been doing the progression just through the campaign. I've made a little bit more progression through the towers, but again, I'm really limited on time right now. This week, it's been kind of crazy. Yeah, we're still doing the power creep. We are getting there. I've hoarded quite a lot of chests, so indecisive on what to get. I need cores, furniture, SI, and that. So Love Linus, you look at it. Absolutely look at what you got and what you need. If you have a majority of the primary core heroes built up, because they're the priority. When you look at formations, they are the absolute priority. But there's always going to be something you need. What's going on, Shady? And Trisha is here as well. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, let's do a couple summons in here, because again, with the new hero, I'm not really too worried about it. Hopefully we can get lucky with a couple heroes. The wish list, again, we confirmed it with Lilith. If we drop these heroes out, it's not going to make a difference for the summoning, but I would love the opportunity to get more of my rare food. So leaving these empty slots, if there is a summon with the empty slot, it will pull one random hero, not specifically in the faction, but it will pull one random hero. Again, that's what Lilith told us. We figured it out. We talked to them over on Facebook, and they said that is the way it will work, is if there is a hero that is pulled from the empty slot, it will just give you a random hero. There's a Movis, guys. Again, the food, we are recycling in here like crazy. And I'm hoping we get some copies of Guineas. Still got a few heroes within the wish list, honestly, that we are still kind of looking to build. There's a copy of Arden. Again, recycling those copies. One on the table, and then we've got 100 scrolls, of course. A majority of these scrolls did come from the Heroes of Espria event, which there's a copy of More Real. Look at that, guys. I think that might be another star to add on More Real. Very cool to see a Celestial hero. Now, of course, she doesn't have a ton of utility anymore. However, when it comes to the tower, she has a lot of utility in there because you're pretty limited on the heroes in there. This CR is horrible RNG. There is Sylvana. I'm sitting at 22, but couldn't add over 2 billion more to score if the stars align. So Riley, similar to, I believe it was Alfredus that said, guys, really push the tower, push the comps in there, which we can go ahead and I can auto it. And I'll show you kind of how I score the battles in there. And there we go, guys. There's one more, which is goalless. Saving the diamonds, of course, for the new hero that drops on Tuesday. So next week we'll do some summons in there, or maybe even midweek, to build up the new Celestial hero that's going to be coming in there. And of course, just more food, guys. 257 cards, 100,000 diamonds. We have 102 time emblems already, so definitely building those out, guys. Let's see if we got another copy of Morio. Maybe we didn't, because I think she's at 1 star, maybe already at 2. She is at 1 star, and then we got the 1 extra copy. They're getting there. Little by little, they're getting there. What's going on, French Core? When did the update? The update comes out Tuesday. So normally, short of anything kind of crazy going on, is they do the patch drops on the test server. Usually on Thursdays, Wednesdays or Thursdays, they drop it. And then it comes up on global the following Tuesday is what we usually see. So tomorrow, we should see the patch notes. And then on Tuesday, we should see the patch go live. They want to look at the Beast Resonance. Beast Resonance is getting there, guys. So we are already at 12. We're going to 15. You can see we already have the Phantasmoth up to 15. But as you can see, guys, it grows a lot to build out these beasts. So since we already have 15, 14 is right there on the Winged Lion. We are building out the Seal, the Winged Lion, and then, of course, utility within Bella is huge on 15, which is the reason, again, we've been trying to build her out a little bit. So once we get the Winged Lion to 15, I'm going to just continue to literally rotate down the Beast Resonance and see if we can get them. And there is a copy of the Seal. Not sure if that's going to give us enough to build anything, which it does not. 1 of 4. And again, we're just continuing literally right down, guys. We have 0, 4, 1 right there, which again, we're just going to save up the beast food. The baits take a long time. They absolutely take a long time. Which dim do you suggest I take to plus 30 signature item? Amelia or Mulan? I would take Amelia. So the big thing with Amelia, Shady, is Amelia's plus 30 is what does the frozen energy effect in here. If you do not have the E30 on Amelia, Amelia doesn't work. Fundamentally, Shady, the Amelia will not work without the E30, which is really the honest truth with her. You'll get the crowd control, but you won't get the energy regeneration, so you absolutely have to. Said before that Matria, which requires other hypos to be effective. Can you explain that a bit? So Daniel, the normal layout for Matria is run right here. So I don't want to modify the formation. I just want to look at the formation. But the normal formation for Matria does run a very kind of specific comp, which is right here. So we have Golrath in there, and then we do have Frampton. Usually run in here, we see this one sometimes it is the Talisman. But this is the usual formation. Now remember, Matria with the SP effect, Matria will provide the 5 hypo buff in here, which is right here. With her SP effect, you will actually essentially double this buff when you go into combat. So when the SP effect takes effect, this is doubled for these heroes, which is huge. A lot of players do not have Ogath. They put Lucretia in here. Again, there's a couple variations, but the big thing here is you want to get that 5 hypo buff in here because her SP effect is going to double the hypo buff that you have in there, which is exactly the reason why you do want to build out Matria. Again, that's why she kind of does require it. Now, Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, things like that, a lot of the formation she's not run with other hypos, but it does work incredibly well. Kind of new, but why would you pay diamonds first for the last rewards? Why would one want to pay diamonds for fast rewards? Oh, so the fast rewards, Boatman, in here is when you get to a certain point. So the rewards for fast rewards went up very exponentially as they continue to add more things to AFK Arena. And you look at the cost. So right here, guys, this is pretty high. Now remember, it's free the first time, then 50 diamonds, 80 diamonds, 100. When we do this, so look, 200 diamonds, boom, this is what we get, guys. So we're getting some engraving mats, we're getting some bait out of there. Now, when you look at cores, when you look at baits, both of those cost money. That's right, guys, those cost diamonds for the majority. Get a couple pole coins in here. We do get some Twisted Essence as well. We get a lot of Hero Essence. As you progress farther into AFK Arena, the Field of Stars, as you can see right here, the little Field of Stars, affected by the Field of Stars, you get a lot more bonuses as you continue to go through here. And like I said, as we progress further, they added cores in here, they added pole coins in here, they added engraving mats, The shards in here, they've added the baits in here. This has exponentially gotten better with time because they continue adding more stuff in there. And then, like I said, I got a core in there. When you look at the price of these, 10 cores are 200 diamonds. If you're not spending, even if I spent up to 200 diamonds from the original, so if I did the 50, the 80, and the 100, you get almost 10 cores out of there. Usually it's 5 to 7, but you do also get baits, plus you get everything else that you get in there, including the Twisted Essence. When you put and assign a diamond value to the actual items, it is definitely worth it. It is worth it. Is the new Celestial worth building? Winnie, right now it is a little bit too early to call, but overall we're seeing a lot of her utility on the test server. So again, I'm kind of saving right now to see what comes, to see exactly where she's used. Twisted Realm, Cursed Realm, Nightmare or Nightmare Corridor. Absolutely, guys, she's putting out a ton of damage, which similar to Belinda, similar to Rem, similar to Matria. It seems like she is going to be putting out a lot of damage in a bunch of different game modes. In addition, guys, remember, she is a Celestial. One of the big things we have right here, Celestial Sanctum, this lacks damage, and it has always lacked damage, guys. It has been very, very hard, especially if you got rid of the original version of the Awakened Taylene, or the newer version of the original Taylene. I'm getting them confused there. But if you dropped her out, or if you exchange her for a different hero, the damage in here is pretty limited when you get to multiple teams. So as a mage, as a damage dealer, not only that, is she has a buff. She has a massive 50% attack buff, which is huge. Absolutely, it is big. It is a big, big buff. Do you think the new Celestial will be meta or very important? I believe yes. Again, we're seeing her on the test server with a couple different places. We are seeing a Demia over there working very well. And yes, I have a Light Bear faction account. I have all the faction accounts, guys, and they are 3 years old at this point. It's been a while. When did you start playing? We started playing 4 years ago. I think it stops counting after a certain amount of certain point in here. I wish it kept. This isn't even, so 5/1 of 23 was what, the 3-year mark, right? Time completed, or that we logged in. So I mean, it's been 3+ years. And again, this isn't my oldest account. The FHG account is actually significantly newer than this. The FHG account, I believe, is on server 80, 87, 89, something like that. So it is relatively early AFK Arena. I started, I mean, when I believe the new hero that around when I started was Lucius. Lucius was the new hero when we started. So yeah, it's been probably about 4 years since it's been, yeah, we have too many copies of Taylene. Absolutely. Moderately new player, just want to know how often do they drop new dimensionals? Usually we get like 2 to 3 a year has been kind of the regular run rate with dimensionals. Even looking back, the first one we got was Arthur, which I believe that is going on, God, what, 3 years ago, 3+ years ago. So to have what, 15, 16, so to have 18 of them in 3 years, that's what, 6 a year. Maybe Arthur's a little bit older than that, but about 6 a year, I guess, would be kind of the run rate that we have. Yeah, how Lucius has fallen till we get an Awakened Lucius. Did I get so much baits? I'm not even level 9. So the baits cracking crunch, honestly, the big thing was, and I believe you do purchase things in AFK Arena. The big thing with baits is we went through and did this. So if you prioritize baits in here as the common and the first level of the premium pass, you actually get double baits in here. A lot of players, when the baits came out, they did run the double baits for a while. Very, very, very heavy baits if you're buying this premium pass in here, because this is all just stacked with baits, which is huge. It is very, very big when you focus on this. And that's what I do with this, guys. If you guys have noticed, if you guys have been watching watching some of the streams or the videos, I rotate these. Last iteration of the Champions of Espria, I actually had the red chests in here. This iteration, we swapped to the elemental cores. This one, we went for the engraving mats in here, and then the baits were second. The next iteration, so in 3 days, guys, I am going to stack this with baits, and then I'm probably going to do the shards over on this side, or I'm going to do the poke coins. I might actually do the poke coins for this one. But like I said, I go through here and I rotate. I rotate all of the builds in here because it's a way to kind of level out. So AFK Arena gives us resources on a consistent basis. And that is how, again, I kind of level those out, is just seeing what I need in here. Of course, cores, you need 4,500 for an E60. You need 3,750 of your elemental shards, 300 when it comes to the red chest. So again, with Demia coming out soon, I don't have enough red chest to actually build her up to the plus 30 signature item. That is the reason from the chest that I just got that I've been building these out. And then out of the current event that we have with the Lost Sigils event, I have been stacking poke coins even since the last week, guys. Remember, last Sunday we did a summon, used all of our poke coins. This week, we already have 44,000 poke coins out of here, guys. Wish list, definitely want to build some of these out. But again, I am waiting for Tuesday for the hero to drop so I can actually drop out Lorzen. I'm going to put Demia in here, and then once I have one of these to the 9 of 9, I'm going to drop Lorzen back in here because, again, his furniture still does work incredibly well. But as you can see, guys, we have 752 pieces of furniture in there, which is a lot. It is a lot in there, just kind of crazy. I remember when I joined, the new hero was Thisu. Yeah, Thisu is still relatively new. Does work incredibly well in the tower. So a hero that does require a build out, but again, does work pretty well in the tower. The cards for the temple summon thingy, how many diamonds? Because how can you buy them to get those cards in my shop? So the cards in the shop, you have to be a certain place. You have to make a certain amount of progression, Yanis, till they show up in the shop. They'll actually show up right here. The Dream Store, they show up right here. The Guild Store, they show up right here. Again, it is based on progression. So as you continue making progression, the cards will show up in there. And there we go, some more Twisted Essence, which will recycle some of those heroes. But again, it just takes time. And then, of course, we do have our last Aziz is almost done. I believe I need 3 more copies. And then Ulna and Mortis are going to be joining Aziz in here. But as you can see, we have the rest of them already to 5 stars. So that is a thing that we're going to absolutely continue doing, guys, is just going through, building out, recycling all of the heroes that we have in here. Who do I predict for the next Awaken? So remember, guys, we've already had the Celestial. We had the Hypogean. We have seen the Awakened version of Belinda. That leaves us the Maulers. That leaves us the Wilders and the Graveborn as the next Awakened heroes. So Maulers, of course, we have Brutus. In here, I would love to see support. One of the biggest things, absolutely, I would love to see support come to the Mauler faction. I would love to see an Awakened version of Namisu. That would be just absolutely bonkers to see an Awakened version, a support version of the Awakened version of Namisu. I would love, he carried the Mauler faction for 4 years, guys. Salakai helped out a little bit, depending on where you have him built, but ultimately Alero was no support. We need to see Namisu in there. That would be awesome. Then, of course, in here, it's going to be interesting to see a lot of players. I think I've seen Respin in here, but I would like to see Leica, or I would like to see Tassie. I think Tassie would be really cool. If they made Tassie a support hero, I wouldn't be mad either to give Wilders both of the support heroes, but I really don't think it would be fair to the Maulers to actually have both of the support, Awakened support heroes in the same faction. So I want to see Mauler support. I want to see Tassie. Tassie, they could do Mage, which would be pretty easy transition. But I would love to see Tassie or Leica, which I think would be really cool to see in here. And then, of course, guys, the only one within this faction is Shamira. Yeah, almost would be cool. And again, I hope they go in with a support hero. We only have the Awakened version of Solus. Yeah, Awakened almost would be awesome to see as well. But again, a lot of players have been kind of leaning towards both of those. But if we got the Awakened tree, I would like to see it. That would be, honestly, Trisha, a very, very good choice. And then again, Graveborn. Only one that I am putting chips all in is Chimera. It's to be one of the absolute, and she was the biggest hero in AFK Arena forever until we started to see the power creep. She was the one that everybody built. She was the carry before Damon. Chimera has fallen so far down, guys. I want to see Chimera, and I want to see Chimera absolutely decked out as an awakened hero. It would be awesome. What's going on, Sono Res? Thanks for joining us. I've been following some of your comps in here. I wanted to make some progression through here, but we got kind of sidetracked in here. Sono Res, of course, the one that we've been kind of following right through here. Loving the formation, still utilizing the thorn cheese. I'm going to let this run, guys, so I can actually answer some questions over here. Yeah, that's why I know Respin, a lot of players have been saying. I've seen a lot of Respin. I've seen a lot of Tassie. Those two, a lot of players have been kind of talked about quite a bit, which is nice. So I got Rem and Amelia for free today as my first 2 dimensionals. Should I buy another dimensional from the lab coins or buy something else? The dimensionals. Alston, the dimensionals are the primary for the lab coins, as well as the challenger store. So I believe the labyrinth coins, you want to get Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, Alston, it is honestly huge to get out of there. And then, of course, the second one that you want to get is Merlin. I believe Merlin's in the challenger shop. Joan of Arc is in the lab store. You definitely want to get... you definitely want to build out specifically Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, again, is massively huge within here. And let me make sure, I know we have the thorn cheese, but his gear is good. With the tier 3, the auto equip, it always seems to get screwed up through a bunch of different places. Yeah, almost would be cool. Yeah, lab coins, like I said, Joan of Arc, absolutely, that is who you want to build out of there. Probably see, yeah, and that's so again, going back to the lore, Sono Res, a lot of players were saying Tassie because of the story with the awakened version of Aziz and everything that happened there with the nightmares and the dream realm and all that stuff. That is why a lot of players have said Tassie would be the next awakened, because going right along that same or almost to the 20. I know. Almas, I love the big tree. And guys, I have a big tree. Most of you know, guys, I have Groot. I have a little baby Groot right here. I love Groot. I love Almas, the tree. He is really cool. Groot has always been my favorite. Guardians of the Galaxy, really cool. I haven't seen the 3rd one yet, but we are getting there. Yeah, that's what I want to see. The awakened version of Chimera. Just dominating. I would like to see Chimera as a mage. I would love them to keep Chimera as a mage and her do more damage than the awakened version of Belinda and just literally dominate when it comes to AFK Arena, because eventually we know the power creep's going to take them over. But I would love to see, I would absolutely love to see the awakened version of Chimera. Ended up finishing the chapter a week ago, slowly pushed a bit in 49. Very nice. I want to get to 40. I want to get to 50. This is the only account period that I make progression on. The rest of the accounts, I just kind of do a lot of maintenance again for the time. But overall, this is really the account that I push progression on, that I really heavily push tower progression on a very regular basis. Campaign progression, we try to do at least once a week. Again, been kind of crazy lately. Coming up to summer, we have volleyball, we have robotics, we have church. We have summer with the kids. I mean, there's a lot going on when the weather starts getting warmer. Even campaign becomes slowly unplayable. Yes, absolutely. Shadow Mastery, it takes time. That is one of the big things. Even here, guys, literally, I can let this run because I run it on a PC. I don't need my phone. I don't need my tablet, nothing like that. I can actually just let this run until the RNG of Thorin wins. It is really just kind of letting it run. Yeah, Kaz would be pretty cool too. Kaz, I know a lot of players would build. If I had to choose who to build, Vathiel or Kniza and Rook, absolutely Vathiel. Vathiel has a lot more utility in a bunch of different formations than Kniza and Rook. Kniza and Rook still does, again, have utility run within the Treasure Scramble, but Vathiel is absolutely, guys, one of the very big heroes to build is Vathiel. Vathiel over Kniza and Rook, absolutely. Chapter 44 is pushing campaign just for gold or ranking after a certain point. So the big thing, Tanner, is when you start making progression in here, it gives you engraving mats. It also gives you Stargazer cards. It also kind of preps you if things come in the future. So we have seen the extension of the Misty Valley go all the way to Chapter 41. There'll be a point where AFK Arena makes more progression or continues the progression campaign-wise, or if they ever go back and actually update the rewards we do get out of the campaign, it's going to be a game changer. And if you've already made that campaign progression, I hope they update the rewards someday. I really do hope they update the rewards in here. Lilith should give us Walker as an awakened. Lilith should give us Walker as an awakened hero and not even charge us for him. Literally just give us the fully built awakened version of Walker. That way he'll have at least some utility, but we'll have to see. We'd love to see the awakened Titus. There we go, guys. Thorn Cheese. Again, for all the players that hate the Thorn Cheese, it works. The Thorn Cheese works eventually, which we know. Tassie would be a mage. Shamir, yeah, that would be kind of funny. Tassie goes to the mage role and Shamira goes into the support. Yeah, we did make a Ranger Warrior, which again, nobody really knows exactly why, but we did make the Ranger Warrior. How much time could you bear to wait to get enough stuff to beat content? 1 month, a year? Because extending it to a year, it happens for free to play currently. So free to play, again, I run free to play account Shadow. I'm in chapter 40, and right now we have almost the 4th awakened hero built on a completely free to play account. Yeah, we absolutely, it is getting there. Again, it just takes time. That is it. It does take time. Oh, there you go. Awaken Peggy, awaken Walker, Rigby. So I built out Walker, and most of you know, over on the Lightbearer account, guys, I built out Walker, I built out Rigby. We built out a lot of these heroes, and to have 0 utility is bad, even in the tower. So 48-24 done right there. But to have literally no utility at all, even being built within their specific towers, it's pretty sad. It's sad that, again, and then you see Rigby, you fight Rigby in the Temple Rift, and Rigby just crushes players, guys. He was probably one of the absolute most hated heroes that we've seen within that the Temple Rift. When we seen Rigby in there, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's it. They make Awaken Walker that is worse than Aziz. That would be very, very bad to see. But it's kind of crazy to think, guys, that, you know, we have probably three more Awakened heroes this year. I mean, we're only 6 months in, so we're halfway through the year. So 3 more Awakened heroes this year, and then we'll be on the 3rd iteration of Awakened heroes, which again, is kind of crazy to think that we already have that many heroes, guys. Again, as we continue to make progression, it gets there. There are so much time and effort to literally farm. All right, guys, let me do the membership giveaway. I didn't want to forget about it. I was trying to remember, and we're right towards the end of the stream. So let me hop over here and I will do the membership giveaway. I love doing this every time, guys. We do this every single time, or as long as I remember. So membership giveaway. Now, we know we did hit our 33,000 subscriber mark. That is right, guys. 33,000 subscriber. We have hit that milestone, which is kind of crazy. Moving on our way to 34K. So we're going to do 5 memberships this time, which would be really cool to see. So there we go. There is the gifting of the 5 memberships, and they go out to random people that are in the stream. There we go. So Trisha gets one. Blobus, Memo, Loveless, and Project Dolphin gets gifted a membership, guys. Congratulations. I love doing the gifting of the memberships. Again, it's a way for me to give back to you guys. And I love seeing the little hippos when you guys comment on YouTube or in the chat in here. It is really, really cool to see all of those little hippos in there. And again, we are stuck in here with our Thorn Cheese, and this is actually the same team. It looks like the identical team that we've seen. thoughts on Rem, Amelia, and the Awakened Taily buffing Rem. Yeah, so that has been run quite a bit. Zothamus, the Rem, Amelia, the Awakened version of Taylene or Athelia has been run quite a bit. They have actually run quite a bit. Or if you mean Taily, yeah, Taily might see an Awakened version. That would be pretty interesting. There we go, Trisha. We got you another membership in there. You got your little red hippo. So it looks like a lot of you guys are past that 1 month mark, which is really, really cool to see. But again, I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna see exactly where we can get done with the Thorn Cheese so we can get through here. And we're almost halfway through here, guys. We're almost to the point of being halfway through this chapter, 48:28, which again, the 30 mark will give us some more resources out of here, which we want to definitely get. And then we'll continue and make some more progression in there. So Night of Rigby, because I got stuck on the Rift stage. Yeah, so what happened for a lot of players, guys, is they turned on the auto and they got stuck actually got stuck at different points within the Rift. And the Rift ran through, depending on your setting, and burned through a lot of the attempts. I'm hoping that they do an update probably before the next time that they do the Rift. Or they're at, yeah, YouTube does its own thing, guys. I literally do the streams and YouTube does what YouTube does. They control the ad and everything else that's in there. But yeah, Rigby was an absolute stopping point, even for myself, guys. I had to change up the teams within there to actually be able to get through the Rigby stage, because again, there were so many players that were stuck within that area. It was a wall. And again, I don't know if they're going to make or change any of those in there. How come I don't have the auto battle feature on my PC, but I have it on my mobile? You should, JJP. I'm not sure. If you have it in mobile, it's here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question. You might have to like log off or reinstall. But if you have it on mobile, you should have it. There's no difference between either mobile or having it here, guys. They kind of run one and the same. Rift is so much trial and error. Yes, 100% agree with you, Shadow. On the free-to-play account, trial and error. Same with this account, guys. Switching up the formations depending on who you're fighting are huge. Oh, there you go. JJP, enable it in the settings. Thank you, Javid. You have to turn on the auto battle. So that might be it. The auto battle, based on your settings within the PC, might have the auto battle feature off, which again, you definitely could see within there. All right, guys. So again, I'm going to let this run. Sometimes the Thorn Cheese is very loving and we get through these very easy. Other times the Thorn Cheese is an absolute nightmare and it takes incredibly difficult. If Rem to survive enough to getting hit by Silas Injection, you can almost one-shot entire teams. Yes, it is kind of crazy to see. Yeah, that Rem running with Ulna, Rem with Silas in there. Again, if you can get Rem to survive, Rem is just crushing damage. It is exactly what we've seen. We haven't had many, had a male awakened hero since Baden. Wouldn't it be surprised next is another male character? Yeah, could be Shady. That is definitely definitely going to see. Can you tell us chapter wise when is early, mid, late game? Honestly, that's very subjective. So what I look like, early game is probably, in my opinion, guys, the way that I build it out, Love Linus, is early game is probably through about chapter 16. That is about the point that I would say would be early game. When you hit 16, you unlock the Stargazer, you start unlocking some of the other features of AFK Arena. And I think at 16 is about where I would say mid-game. Mid-game, I would say runs till probably about chapter, 30, 32. The reason being, when you start getting into late game is the point that I really look at multiple stages, multiple combat, multiple teams like this, is where I would say would be late game, is when you start getting into the multiple teams. And then to add on to that, I would actually say end game would probably be when you start getting probably around chapter 45 to 50. So essentially you have roughly 15 chapters per stage. So 15 early, 15 mid, which takes you to 30. 15 late game, which takes you to 45. 45 plus could be end game. And again, that's kind of how I break it up. And it's just kind of the pivotal points of AFK Arena where you start unlocking a lot of different game modes. And again, I feel like early to mid game is really where you get the point of the Stargazer. Yeah, it is kind of the big one. Yeah, mid game you start getting into. Yeah, again, you can break it up 100 different ways, but that is the way that I kind of look at it. Yeah, it is when you start seeing multiple teams, when you get to the point of utilizing the Stargazer, and then when you start getting into much of the harder, higher level content that players haven't really gone through. So again, if you say 45 plus, even with levels now, 45 plus, maybe 48 plus is starting to get into endgame. But again, some of those, yes, 3960 is tough, and they intentionally make it tough. That's really it. Yep, 1, 3, 5 teams. That's when, again, when you start getting into multiple teams is when AFK Arena starts increasing the difficulty kind of exponentially. When you start getting to that point of having those multiple teams, it gets a lot more difficult. 4 pieces away from getting Rem. Raphael, you have the time. You still have that 7-day window. What is it, 6 now? So you will definitely be able to get Rem within the next couple days. I'm gonna leave this again. We're gonna let this just kind of run, which I don't even think I reset. I don't think I reset the team. That's probably why it's not working, guys. But I know with the summons in here within the Dreamy Garden, look at this. That is how we finish up the Dreamy Garden, guys, which is awesome. So we just have this one, which of course is Labyrinth bosses. We cannot speed that one along, but we're gonna pick up those guild coins that we definitely wanted to out of here. But that is very cool because we went through and we did all of those Misty Valley runs, and of course the campaign progression for where we're at within the campaign. That is really cool. That is awesome to be able to build all of these out. And again, in here, guys, get a copy of the pet, the beast. As much as a lot of players still want to continue to get Flora, if you get a free beast, you can see we just spent, I think, 600. I think 600 baits. The beast baits to get one single copy, guys. Pick Bella. Again, when you hit the resonance, you can actually just reset to get a free copy of another beast, which is the reason why absolutely I would build her out and I would get her. Does Kelthar make the Thorn Cheese easier? Absolutely, 100% correct and crunch. Because Kelthar does damage when he's dead. Most of the Thorn Cheese comps, which I want to say probably 90+% of them, there's Trisha right there. There is Sono Res. Probably 90+% of them do run Kelthar. They run Kelthar again. A lot of them do run Pippa with that +20 signature item because Pippa will actually teleport Thorin to where he needs to be based on the enemies. But again, Pippa +20 signature item and also Kelthar are really the two big ones that are a majority of the damage that is brought by the Thorn Cheese, which is the big reason. Sorry, guys. So that'll do it for today's stream. We're sitting on 100,000 diamonds waiting for Tuesday. So absolutely, we want to. Now you can enable the auto battle. Let's look really quick. So in the settings, auto battle is display auto battle. Right there, display auto battle. So if I turn that off, display auto battle off, there's not going to be an option. There is no auto battle right there. That is why, JJP, like what Javid was saying, so you have to go to settings, you have to turn on auto battle. Auto battle display has to be on, and then of course that will kick the auto battle button right back on. That's what you got going on, JJP. Thank you, Javid, for pointing that out. I didn't know that myself, but we pick up a couple more diamonds in there. Gonna make some more tower progression out of here. So again, guys, that will do it for Sunday's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. I love doing the streams. It is something that I absolutely look forward to, again, every single week. So thank you, guys. I'm gonna come up with some more guides. Raku Day, I'm gonna cover those guides. A lot of players are absolutely loving the Dimensional. He built one for all of the 4 primary factions. We do not have one for the Celestials or the Hypogens at this point, but he said he's gonna be working on it again. With the visual guides, they take a ton of time. They absolutely take a ton of time. Rem or Amelia, get Rem. Rem is the absolute one that I would get out of there. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a good Sunday. And as always, thank you guys for watching.